because
A lot more.
make
It
sure
doesn't
it's
matter. It doesn't matter.
documented.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. You're
Doing you,
good.
my
So,
dear.
can you redefine harm again so I can just make sure I heard you
Okay,
right?
so harm is physical injury, especially that which is deliberately inflicted.
Okay, perfect. Do you know how like modern like agriculture works? Like pertaining to like plant-based diets?
Agriculture, I think you pronounced that wrong. It's agriculture, not agriculture.
Yeah, that's fine. Do you understand how that works?
Yes, I'm well aware. What's your point?
Okay, perfect. That's awesome. So when we're speaking about like this harvesting, and plants, do you know plants' biggest ops? Do you know what a
Hold on
plant's
one
biggest
second.
op
Hold on one
is?
second. Just give me a moment. Rizzler in Ohio, if you gift, then yeah, sure, I'll let you in, because this is meant to be the last one. But what was your point? Repeat that again.
Yeah. So do you know what a plant's biggest op is?
What's a plant's biggest op?
Okay, so a plant's biggest op are rodents and mice. Are those
Bro has
animals?
huge data in his bio. Oh my goodness. Yeah, what about that? Yeah, those are animals. Rodents, mice are rodents, but sure, yeah.
Yeah, so mice and rodents, right? So when we're speaking about this, like this view that of harm and we don't want to harm animals, when you have this factory where you like house these like plants and you're like cultivating like a whole bunch of different like plant life, do you understand that they have to remove rodents by killing them?
Okay, yeah, what's your point?
Okay, so why is that okay to harm those rodents, but it's not okay to eat animals in respect to like gain some type of like nutrients? What's the threshold between that harm and the other harm?
Okay, let's help you out quickly because you seem to be struggling intellectually, but it's all right. Let me help you out, my dear boy. Okay, so number one, we have to eat something. Okay, I'm not advocating that we starve. I acknowledge that some harm will be caused when we do, when by eating plants and crops. I acknowledge that some animals will be hurt. You are absolutely correct with that. Well done, my dear boy. I'm proud of you. But here's the thing that you didn't notice. Number one, you do acknowledge that the animals that you eat, they do require crops to feed them, right? And agriculture to feed them, correct?
I'm not arguing. Me personally, I don't care about the well-being of these animals, right? You do. So I'm asking you, what is the
Exactly.
threshold? Wait. Before you
What's the
start
point?
talking,
What do you
because
mean you don't
you
care about the
clearly,
well-being of the
you
animals?
clearly don't. You clearly,
Hold on one second, my dear
wait.
boy.
It's not relevant.
Just
It's not
listen.
relevant. Don't jump to
Listen.
something
No, I'm not writing. Just listen. Let's put a muzzle on it. Listen, what is your point? If you don't care about these animals, then
else.
I don't understand the point you're making. If you don't care about the animals, then you
That's
have
what I'm
no
saying.
point.
If you don't interject, you can understand what I'm saying, right? Just calm down, little boy.
Explain it.
So my
Be
point here
verbose.
is, yeah, you're good. So my point here is, I don't
Appreciate
personally
the
care.
roses,
This is an
Rizzler.
argument
Thank you
against
for the
your.
roses, Rizzler. Thank you so much. I'll get you in. Thank you so much for the roses. What were you saying?
Okay, so you brought up harm, right? This intentional.
Thank you so much for
Would
the
you say
gift, Rizzler.
intentional?
Thank you so much for the gift.
Okay,
What's your
so now
point?
he's not. Okay, so you brought up harm. I'm asking you, what is the difference in the threshold between harming these rodents who are also animals and harming these like cattle and stuff for food? What's the threshold? So what's the distinction? Not threshold.
For someone who has
Ooh,
speed
chat.
debates in their
This
bio,
guy
you're
doesn't know. This
correct.
chat doesn't know what internal
Hold on one
critique
second, my
is.
dear boy. Let me
Guys,
respond. Can I
pose
respond to
that.
what you're saying? Can I
You don't know what
respond
the
to what you're
internal critique
saying?
is, bro.
So you cannot interrupt my answer with another ad hominem. Okay, just listen. Okay, let me help you out. Number one, I acknowledge that some animals will be hurt, including rodents. We'll have to take away their living space to make crops and have utilize pesticides that will hurt them, so we can have the crops that we need to eat. That's a very good point. But we have to eat something. Okay, so some animals are going to be hurt in the process of
You're not
that.
understanding You're not
The
understanding the
issue.
argument. I'll try again.
Listen. I'm answering.
Host, you're
Just
not
listen. If
understanding
you
the
pay
argument.
attention, you.
You know, I understand what you're trying to say, but you're not understanding the argument. You don't get
Hold on
it.
one second, my
Like
dear
you don't
boy.
get it.
Hold on one second, my dear boy. Just give me a moment, my dear boy. Again, you're not understanding is that we have to hurt some innocent animals, but you're hurting unnecessarily. You're hurting animals unnecessarily. That's the whole point. Thank you so much for the gift, Toby. Are you
That's my.
understanding what I'm saying?
So now you're arguing necessity, right? What determines unnecessary and necessary suffering or harm? I'm asking you this. What's the point? What is the
Sir,
threshold?
listen, because I don't want to
Yeah,
starve.
like
Okay,
this
I'm
guy
not
is
saying that we
actually a
should
potato.
starve
This
to
guy
stop
is
the animals
actually a
from living.
potato.
And just listen. Shh. Just listen.
What
I'm
is
not
the
saying we should
distinction
starve.
between necessary
Sir,
and
are you
unnecessary
listening to what I'm
harm?
saying? Listen to what I'm saying, sir.
What?
Unnecessary harm is when you don't need to hurt them to survive. That is the whole point. You don't need to hurt these animals to survive, but you do it unnecessarily. And that is the issue. Not only are you hurting the environment, you're hurting yourself, you're hurting these innocent 90 billion a year, 90 billion innocent animals a year that you're hurting when you don't need to. We need to hurt the mice because we need to survive. I'm not advocating we starve ourselves just to save the animals. I think that's too far. But the whole point is that we don't need these innocent animals to survive. What part of that are you not understanding?
Wait. Okay, you're not getting it. This is an internal critique. First point, I'm
Sir,
going to
you're
say it
not
slower for you because you're kind of slow.
providing
Wait,
you know what an internal
let
critique
me
is?
talk. I've allowed
Just
you
listen.
to.
Just listen. It's my debate live, so
I'll
I'll
get to that.
mute you however
I've
much I
allowed.
want. Just listen. Can you define what an internal critique is? Can you do that? Can you define what an internal critique is? Go ahead and unmute yourself, my dear boy. Because
So
you're
you want me to
intellectually
answer your question?
struggling.
You don't answer my question. Wait, so
What
you
is
want
an
me to answer your
internal
questions, but you
critique?
don't want to answer my question? Wait, you want me
Answer
to
the
answer
question, my
your
dear
questions,
boy.
but you don't want me to answer? Wait, I'm confused.
Just
Is
listen.
this? Are you going to be like irritable? Are you going to answer my questions first? Like,
Let's come to planet Earth.
you
I
answer
answered
my
your question,
questions?
and I'm asking you. Just listen, my dear boy. Just listen. I'm asking you, what is the
An internal
definition
critique
of an
is when
internal
you are.
critique?
An internal critique is when you're critiquing a worldview and you accept the things in the paradigm. Is that okay for you?
No,
So
that's not an
my point
internal critique. An
again.
internal critique is when you
What
look
is an
and you
internal?
try and
What is
find
an internal critique?
inconsistencies. You look within an argument
You
to critique
grant
and find
you grant
inconsistencies
things in their paradigm and try to find contradictions. That's a literal internal critique.
between unnecessarily
Okay,
hurting an
that's
animal.
not.
When you don't
Yeah,
need
there
to
is a
survive.
contradiction.
Listen, sir. Sir, just listen. It's not unnecessary. It's not necessary if it doesn't require your survival. Do you understand that point? We have to survive by eating something. Do you understand
Exactly.
that?
So it requires my survival to eat meat. What's
No,
the
you don't.
difference?
You can be perfectly healthy on a vegan diet. That's the whole point. And you'll be, in fact, more healthy on a vegan diet. You can eat a vegan diet
Okay,
and
and then
survive. You don't need to eat the animals. That's the whole point.
perfect. So then it goes to like this elitist type of point of view. What is
No,
more
it's not
efficient?
elitist point of view.
Wait.
It's
Is
not
it
about efficiency.
no, let me talk, dude. Can I talk? Thank you.
Go ahead and speak, my dear boy.
Thank you so much, boy. Anyways, if we're speaking about what is possible, right? Oh yeah, it's possible to eat a vegan diet, but is it less likely or more likely to participate in a vegan diet or a carnivore diet given people's financial positions?
That's a very good question, and I'm glad you answered that. In fact, vegan diets are on average far cheaper than eating meat,
That is
which
cap.
makes sense
That is cap.
considering how late.
That's cap.
Hold on a second, just listen. Just listen. In fact, vegan foods are far cheaper than eating meat. If you look at the National Institute of Health as a source, it shows that vegan foods are far more sustainable and cheaper. And look at Oxford studies than eating meat. So in fact, it's more efficient, much better for yourself, the environment, and for the innocent animals. And so you can give us many long, verbose explanations. But again, I've just debunked your point. You haven't provided any evidence, and literally, it's better for you. And that's quite frankly it. So you're welcome.
So you're telling me it's cheaper to eat vegan. So how much?
You are correct.
Yeah, I understand this. So
Thank you so much for
when
the
we're
gift.
referring to like nutrition, when you go for that cheap side, are you going to be getting like the nutritional benefits that you would typically
Yes,
come
you
from
would
like
be
a base
perfectly healthy in a
level?
vegan diet.
No,
In
you
fact,
wouldn't.
eating meat.
That is actually so
Sir, do you have
cap.
a source for that?
No,
So do you have a
yeah, I
source that
actually
you
do.
can't be healthy in a
You
vegan
actually do. I
diet?
got you. I actually got you. Let me
Okay,
pull it
what's your
up.
source?
I got you. Let me pull it up.
And what's more than that is that, in fact, if you don't have a vegan diet, you are far more likely to pass away from diabetes, cardiovascular disease.
I mean, vegan diets have their problems as well too. Regarding like health.
No, but if we look at if we actually balance it, vegan foods are still far more healthy. Plant-based diets are far more healthy than
But
eating.
you can't argue like.
And it's more sustainable as well.
But you can't argue like health risk if they both have health risk, right?
No, but we can see something is far more healthy. Do you understand that?
Let me find it right here. All right. This is coming from.
Tell me the name of the source as well so I can look it up.
Yeah, I got you. Don't do that. Oh, this is for like the negative effects.
Pardon?
This is for the negative effects.
Sir, can you tell me the name of what you looked up? Would
Yeah,
you show
the impact. Yeah, so the impact of vegan diet on many aspects of health, the overlooked side of veganism, and this is by the National Library of Medicine.
What's the site? What's the site? Is
Yeah,
it
this is by the National Library of Medicine.
Okay, so the name is the impact of a vegan diet on many aspects of health, correct?
Yeah, that's for one, and then another one is St. Luke's Health.
Again, here's the issue with this source: is that it's only looking at veganism and the downsides. It's not comparing it to meat. So I don't doubt that it has some
That's fine. I
downsides.
wasn't trying to compare. I'm just saying, no, that's fine. I'm not comparing it to me. I'm saying veganism has its the negative health effects as well as eating meat. But the problem with eating vegan, having a vegan diet, is that you're missing out on a lot of different nutrients without having to supplement.
No, that's not the case, sir. And also, in the case that you have to take supplements, much better to do that than eating innocent animals. And what's more than that is that
What's the argument? What's the argument for
far
that?
better.
Wait, what's the argument for that?
Okay, yeah. Look at this.
Yeah,
Look
give
at
me the
this. Let me
argument for
give you a
that,
source.
please. No. I don't need a source. I need the argument for that.
So, sir, I'm basing it off the source because that's how we
What's the
find objective
argument
truth
for
in data.
that? No, what's the argument
It's
for
not an
that?
argument. You need a source.
No. You made a claim. You said that it's better. No.
Yes, and I'm providing you with the source. I'm not going to give you my opinion. I don't base stuff off of my opinion. I provide you the evidence and the research.
Opinion. I need the argument that it's better. No, I need the argument that it's better. It's more preferable to eat a vegan diet and have supplements other than eating meat. What is the argument?
Just listen. Stop interrupting. Just listen. I need you to look up plant-based diets and long-term health. National Institute, the same place that you got yours from, National Institute of Health, National Library of Medicine, PubMed, plant-based diets and long-term health, PubMed. And you can actually go to it and you can look at it and you can see the exact differences that
I'm not arguing differences, buddy. I'm not arguing differences. That's not what I'm arguing. I'm saying you made the claim that it would be better under a vegan diet to supplement. I'm asking you, what is the argument for me to believe that? Why can I not just hold to?
It's not about.
It's not showing. It's an argument.
No, it's you need evidence behind your arguments, and I'm just pointing you to the source that indicates that. So if you actually go to and listen, you will see it. So again, if we look at the source that has been peer reviewed, we can see that you're much less likely of cholesterol.
Sources support
heart failure,
arguments. Sources support arguments. They're not arguments.
Exactly, and I'm giving you the argument. So I'm going to keep putting a muzzle on you until you actually
You're not giving me
listen.
an argument. You're giving me a.
Shh. Calm down, my dear boy. Just relax. Take a chill pill. I'm not a cop. Just be quiet, relax, and chill. Just go to the source, and you can see if we take cancer, for example, the risk for any type of cancer was 10% lower in vegetarians than in meat eaters. And I imagine it will be far lower in vegans than vegetarians. The low risk for all cancers combined in both vegetarians and vegans than in meat eaters. So you're less likely to suffer from cancer. Unless you want cancer, I suggest going vegan. Compared to meat eaters, the vegetarians and epic
That's a false dichotomy.
heart disease as well. Lower heart disease than in meat eaters. It's far, far better. Clearly far better. So I'd suggest you go and do your research. I want you to look up plant-based diets and long-term health from the EPIC Oxford study. I suggest everyone in the stream do it too. And you actually look at what it says. You can see the differences. 1 second, I'm not done yet. You go there and you can actually see it. Don't unmute. I'm not done yet. But yeah, I want you to go and see that. And you can actually see everything that shows. And you can actually see that being vegan is far better than eating meat. Yeah, the source, everyone in the stream, you can go and look up the source. All the evidence. Yeah, the source, everyone in the stream, you can go and look up the source. It is far better.
Or you just gonna keep on yapping?
You can see it all. You can see it all. It's far better. It's very simple. And yeah, that's all there is to it. You can see it all. It's far better. It's very simple. And yeah, that's all there is to it.
Are you done?
All right. Okay, do you want to look up the source?
Can I like refute it? Like, are you gonna keep on muting me? Or what?
Go and look up the source. I looked at your source. Go and look up my source, and you
I'm
can
so
review
I'm
that.
so I'm so
Plant-based diets,
glad you're not listening. I'm so glad you're not listening.
plant-based diets, and long-term health. That's it. Alrighty, everyone.
This guy's
I
actually.
think I'm gonna end the stream here. Plant-based diets and long-term health. That's all you need to do. I think I'm gonna end the stream here. We'll add in one more person. This guy, just because he gave roses. Oh, another dude gave.
Hello.
Hey, would you want to debate?
I would like to debate going vegan, please.
Why aren't you vegan?
Well, more specifically, that's KSI in your profile picture, is it not?
You are correct. What about that? Only red herring.
KSI has just released a product which promotes having.
Stop spreading false propaganda on my live, please. Thank you. That's not true. KSI is an amazing man. He's a role model for all, including African American and colored people. He's an amazing man. Hey, what do you want to debate?
I guess we can debate God is imaginary.
Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Where's your evidence, my dear boy?
My argument would be from the impossibility of the contrary.
What do you mean the impossibility of the contrary? Why would that be impossible for a God to not exist?
Because God is a necessary precondition for knowledge and
He
intelligibility.
is not a necessary precondition. Where's your evidence of that? That he's a necessary precondition.
The impossibility of the contrary.
Why would it be impossible for God not to exist? Can you show me the evidence of that?
The impossibility to give a justification for the possibility of knowledge without God.
Where is your evidence of that? Can you show me?
I just told you it's a reductio.
No, it's not reductio. Do you know what reductio is?
Yeah, to reduce your position to impossibility or absurdity.
Okay, well, if you know what it is and you understand that, that's not the case in this position. So again, can you provide me the evidence?
That is the case. You're just saying it's not the case. Is it an argument?
Can you provide me the evidence that your God exists? Where's the evidence?
Yeah, so what do you take evidence to be?
That's a good point. Evidence is basically the available body of facts that we have to support a certain claim that makes it true instead of being false, and that can actually prove it to be true. So do you have any evidence that your God is real?
Cool. So we'll start there. So fact or truth, does it have ontological existence?
You said, does a fact or truth have ontological existence?
Yeah, does truth have ontological existence? Does it have ontology? Is it a being?
Can you explain to me what that means to you? What do you mean?
Meaning it actually exists in the.
Hold on one second. You're using terms that you don't quite understand, and you're using them in the wrong context. So I want you to explain what you think that is.
That it has actual positive existence and it exists independently of our perception or conception of a specific subject or concept.
So basically, does objective truth exist is what you're claiming?
I mean, truth can be objective, but I'm asking, does it have ontology? Like, does it exist positively, independently of the mind is what I'm precisely asking.
Exactly. Objective means it's independent of a stance. Yes. So I believe that, yes, absolutely can. Certain truths can be independent of a mind. But again, in terms of God, you haven't got any evidence that that's the case.
Okay, so we'll start with I'm asking you about the actual ontological status of truth itself, because you're saying it exists objectively. So
God, I just said yes.
It's an epistemic argument, dude. Just relax. We'll get there. So how do you ascertain truth? Like, is truth something that corresponds to reality? And if so, is there an external world?
You said, is truth that something that corresponds to reality? Absolutely. Truth is dependent on reality. Truth is essentially, you're talking epistemology here. And as a pragmatist and a logician, we can use logic to understand that truths can exist independently of any being. And we usually come to those through evidence and through empirical data that we find, and through other methods as well, using the laws of logic and other necessary axiomatic things. So I don't understand your point there.
Yeah. So how do you know these axioms are true?
Axioms are self-evident statements. Do you know what that is? Like they're
So you
self-evident.
believe in self-evident truths?
In terms of actions, yeah, they're like the laws of logic. They're necessary for us to, for any sort of rational thinking. You do need to operate with the laws of logic. That's a necessary.
So the laws of logic do they exist ontologically, or are you like an anti-realist?
I mean, to be realist, that's a good question, but I wouldn't characterize myself in that sense. I would still say I'm a pragmatist and a realist, and I can say that, do the laws of logic exist independent of any mind? That's a good question. Which I don't know how to answer that, but regardless, it's kind of a non sequitur or a red herring compared to God, because this doesn't really have anything to do with God.
No, it's not, because because the argument is that God is a necessary precondition for these things, so it's absolutely relevant. It's not a non sequitur.
You don't have any evidence of that.
It's a reductio. It's showing you that it's impossible in your worldview to justify these things. I know you follow the argument, you just don't want to actually give justification, so you want to switch it and say there's no evidence.
I'm following the argument, but again, you're not really providing any evidence of what I'm saying or kind of engaging with what I'm saying.
Evidence is that you can't actually provide epistemic justification for the laws of logic because they're just self-evident. They're just self-evident in your system.
The laws of logic are basically agematic things that we use to, rationally think in any way, shape, or form.
Use them, dude,
they kind of are dependent on
to actually come up with them. To actually come up with them, it has to exist independently of the mind. So that means it's not made up; it's discovered.
No, I would say it exists dependent on time. I said, kind of, you might actually acknowledge these things, but in terms of independently, for example, if gravity exists, then yeah, absolutely. But again, this doesn't have anything to do with God. You're not bringing up your point.
Yes, it does. So stop running away from the argument. Let's proceed.
That God is necessary.
Let's proceed.
The question that God is necessary.
But let's proceed. So you said the truth. Oh boy, here we go.
Listen, you're begging the question that God exists. It's a presupposition that God isn't necessary. You're just presupposing that. That's no difference to me. Santa Claus is necessary. Where is
okay? So listen carefully. Listen carefully, dude.
You just
my argument is very simple. It's actually not complicated at all. You're just going to have to act stupid to avoid it. So listen carefully.
Your argument makes
the necessary precondition, because earlier you just
hold on 1 second. You haven't provided a single shred of evidence. You're again you're begging the question that a God is necessary without actually showing the evidence that God is necessary. You're just presupposing it. It's like saying,
calm down. Just calm down and listen.
So do you have any evidence?
So these laws, of the logic. You're literally, this is crazy. So these laws of logic that you appeal to, you said truth exists independently of the mind. Are the laws of logic true? Yes or no?
You said all the laws of logic true. These are concepts. So essentially they exist within the mind. So no, I don't.
You just changed your whole position. You just changed your entire position. Earlier you said it was objective.
No, the way we think about
You're a
it
liar.
is in the
this
mind.
Is crazy. You suck, bro.
For example, let's say, let's say we say morality. Just listen, let's say we have a shared morality, like murder is bad. If you then murdered, then objectively you would have done something bad within our subjective framework.
I can destroy this whole argument through analytic philosophy. Now I'm just going to destroy your use of language. Okay, why? So the words mean the words mean something.
You're making materialist claims about God. Do you agree that God created everything?
I'm not. The argument I'm making is immaterial because I'm arguing for laws of logic. That's immaterial.
Just answer the question. Do you believe that God created everything?
Yes.
Okay, so now you're having claims of that God has had an effect on the material world, and you're making material claims that God has had that. In that sense, you need to provide the evidence of those material claims that you said God has done. In my case, I'm not claiming the laws of logic
Why would
have
I debate
affected
the
this world in
effects
any
and not the cause?
way.
Why would I debate the effects and not the cause?
Because the effects will provide evidence. Because if it's no effects, then essentially you're arguing something that we can't test for, and that's not a good
Okay,
rational basis for any
I think
conclusion.
existence as an effect is proof. Now what?
You said existence as an effect, existence of living beings, of human beings.
No, existence is an effect, and God is the cause of
Existence of
existence. So
what?
now what?
Existence of what?
Yeah, so you're trying to run away from the
No, I'm just
logical
asking
argument.
questions. Existence of what?
You're
Because you're
trying to
making.
move
I'm not
to your
moving from anything.
empiricism.
I haven't moved from it. The laws of logic
Do you
don't
want
want to
me
wait. Hold on one
do
second,
you
my
want me to
boy.
destroy your empiricism
Listen,
now?
the laws of logic haven't claimed to have made physical claims and physical effects on the materialist universe, but your God does have claims of
Okay,
making
let's
the
just
effect.
destroy your materialism now. So are the
You're not
laws of
just
logic
showing
material? Yes or
materialism. You don't
no?
have any point.
Are the laws of logic material? Yes or no?
They're not material, no.
How did you deduce from material the laws of logic?
Can we test for the laws of logic physically? Do you know what material is? Do you know what that means? Materialism, do you know what that is?
Yes, to say that all knowledge is just from material or sense data. You're an empiricist.
Exactly. Sense data empiricist. Exactly. That's the whole point. The laws of logic aren't based on materialist things. That's what you're not
Thank
understanding.
you.
They're
That's the
concepts that exist
argument,
within.
dummy. Hello. Are you this low IQ?
So are you paying attention? This is what I've been saying the whole time. The laws of logic are concepts that
No,
came
you
from
haven't.
within
You
the
just
mind
changed
of
your
what we
position
say.
mid argument. You're a liar.
Just listen. But they can describe objective things. They can describe objective things. When we agree on subjective things, we can describe objective things too. Just like I said with
Okay,
the
so let's
morality,
talk
is we have
about
a
that
shared
now. Let's talk
compass.
about that
Just
now.
listen. If we have
So I'm going to
just listen.
destroy
If
your
we have a
empiricism.
listen, if we have a shared moral compass, it's subjective. But if we agree on it, then objectively from our moral compass, we can make certain presumptions. The same way the laws of logic, we can have subjective laws of logic, but we can use them objectively to come to conclusions about rational things in our world. It's not difficult. I've said this since the beginning, but just so freezing to understand.
Okay, so let's tackle that now. So just stop yapping for a second because that was a bunch of word salad. You didn't actually say anything. I hope you know
Word
it.
salad. It was
You
very
didn't say
logical, and
much.
I
So now
addressed
I'm going to
it
prove you didn't say
clearly.
much. I'm going to
You
prove you
just
didn't say
ignored
much.
the point.
I'm going
Just
to
listen. My
getting
point
muted.
about
Just
God.
make my argument.
You ignored my point. Let's put a muzzle on it. You ignored
You're getting.
about God. You ignored that point. Can you address that point?
No, I didn't. I'm addressing it if you let me talk. So now I'm going to destroy your empiricism so we can get back to my argument for God. Is language material?
So there's language material.
Yeah. So like
It
when I
depends on
say
what.
the grass, it depends what?
You said, yeah. What was your example you were bringing up?
If I say the word grass, the word that I'm speaking, is that material or immaterial?
The word that you're speaking in terms of into the physical realm would be material through sound waves, but the concept of the word that you're saying would be immaterial.
Thank you. So the referent is material, but the actual reference, the word, is immaterial, correct?
Correct.
So how did you empirically verify the meaning of these words to match to a specific reference?
We haven't
Like
had
how did
empirically.
you empirically verify the word grass picks out
This is
something when
like
you
with
go
the
outside
laws
and
of
look at the
logic.
house?
There's
How did you
subjective things. There's subjective things that can describe objective things as well. Since we agree on the subjective meaning, we can describe objective phenomena.
how do you
This
know I
is
agree on
not.
that subjective meaning empirically? How did you empirically verify
It's
my
not nothing
agreement
to do
on a
with
specific
empirics.
term?
Sure, it's nothing to do with empirics. We subjectively agree on the gross meaning of that
How
thing
do
and
you know
describe it in
we
an objective.
agree? You're an empiricist. How do you know we agree? You're an empiricist.
So you really want to go into epistemology on how do we know this? Again, we would
So
both have
my
a
whole
shared
argument is
idea.
epistemology. Empiricism is an
The
epistemic thought.
argument has
You
made
would
you haven't
already
made
are
a single
arguing
argument.
epistemology.
So you haven't made a single argument up here. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm
You haven't
making an
made a
epistemic
single
argument that you can't account for knowledge. That's the whole argument. Don't you realize that?
Sir, you're not understanding what I'm saying. Like, you're just not
No, you're not
understanding.
understanding.
Please. Like,
You tried to act like I was dumb when I first got up here. Now you're getting steamed. You can't even respond.
sir, I've debunked you multiple times. I just
I'm gonna do you the
hold on one second, my dear boy, for the last
merciful.
time.